I'm going to start by trimming off some of this white fuzzy stuff. I think it'll be easier to do it now than later. And this piece of yarn or thread, this one is really crazy. This piece here I think goes in the middle of the vinyl. Well, it's actually folded over, but it goes between, it comes down in here somewhere, then goes up, and then it loops through the piece from up here. There's no way I can replicate that, well, not easily anyways. But this one, I'm actually gonna just trim that, cut that off. And then there's one under here. I want to cut that as long as I can get it. Like that, and then I want to take a stitch puller I want to pull out, so I have about an inch and a half, so you can see there's that other thread that goes up into here, and this one looped in and round in through the loop there and then back in here. Like, oh my goodness, how does that even happen? But I'm gonna pull out this one too, so then I'll have enough to tie this old thread to the new. So I'm going to clean this up, this fuzz up a little bit more. So on this seam, this thread ends right there, right where the needle is. So I'm going to push that needle up and through that hole. And I'm trying to use the old holes. I want to leave 2-3 inches. Oh, and I wanted to show you. This thread is Coats Extra Strong Upholstery, 150 yards, and this seems to be some tough stuff. And so I run that up there. Now I'm going to run over to this hole. There we go. Come out there. So you want to be on, do 2 holes on one side and then come down to the other side. And I am starting with about 2 feet of thread. Gosh, I can never remember that name. You don't want to run out. So now I'm going to come over to the other side. I'm going to go this way. Oops. That's not easy work with these gloves, but it's much easier to push the needle through. So now I'm going to come down to this next one on this side. Push that through. And you don't want to pull this tight. We'll tighten it up at the end. So I'm going to continue on. I don't know what I'm going to do here, if I'm going to stop there and then sew this. Oh, I've got some down to here. Now I'm going to pull on both ends of the thread. That cinches up pretty good. And I got a loose one there. Now, the reason that's not working, it might be because there's so much distance. Oh, there. Let's see here. There we go. That's buttoned up really nice here, right in the seam. So now I'm going to tie this in. Pull it up tight. Do a double on that. Pull that tight. Trim that off. Let this in. Pull it up tight. And here's the original thread. I'm gonna tie that just to kind of anchor that, and then I'm gonna continue on down the rest of that tear. Oops. I didn't do that right. Let's see here. That's tricky. It could be easier than it is, but pull that tight, loop it again. I'll trim that off later. That didn't pull up. It came loose. I'm gonna have to. I got that knot out, and the problem was that the string was way up over here, or the thread, and it just didn't want to stay together, so I punched the hole down through the vinyl there, and now I'm gonna tie a knot, put that tail end through that loop, and tie another one just to secure it really well. And then, I'm actually going to wait on that. I'm going to leave that tail there. Now, if this tear was just straight, if it didn't come down like this, what I would do is I'd stick the needle down into the tear, right in the seam, and then I would go under about an inch and then come back out of where the tear was, and then I would cut that string off right there, so that tail is hidden underneath. But being as I need to go down and get this pulled together, I can't do that, so I'm going to continue on. Let's put my gloves on. Amazing what a difference these make in getting hold of that needle. And you can use a needle nose or pliers on the needle. And I don't like to do that because it can chew it up and put marks in it and things that'll hang up on fabric or leather or whatever you're sewing. Boy, let's see if I can get in this side. Getting hooked up down in the foam. Oh, there we go. think sewing is easy, and it just isn't. There's battling numerous things. So I'm going to continue down to the bottom here, and I'll be back. I've got this sewn all the way down the bottom. Now I'm trying to get this tightened up. I need to pull this side up and over this white part, and it's not cooperating. I think it's going to be I have to do a little bit of a time, do a little bit at a time. Work my way down. Use the needle to get hold of that thread. Pull that tight. I'm going to continue working on this, just work it down, go up and get that tight and keep working down. I have to come back later and re-sew. This part here didn't get real tight. That's as tight as I can get it. I've worked it 3-4 times, and there's just too much tension pulling this apart. Probably have to do is take the seat cover off, then there won't be tension. I can sew that up tight. That'll be another video. For now, I'm gonna run this through, needle through this loop. Run that through. You know what? I'm not even going to tie that. I'm going to take this off. I don't want to have to wreck that thread. So what I'm going to do is leave that. But I'm going to come back up here, put on this other piece of thread, and I'm going to sew this up a little bit better. Ended up with a gap in there, but with this angle, this is not easy to sew. It'd be a lot easier if it was just like this one was a straight rip, and that one turned out. I'm very happy with that, and this turned out well too. But then where this transition happened, it got real messy real quick. So I'm gonna start sewing this up. I'm going to figure out which the best way to do that is. I'll be back. This is the seat before the repair. I put some stitches in here, pulled that together, liking that better. Here, I said I'm going to have to take that cover, seat cover off. I ended up doing, I'll see first if I can pull this together better. What I might do is see if there's some extra fabric underneath the seat somewhere, and maybe put a piece on here to cover that all up and help support that, so there isn't so much stress right on this spot, because these are actually even tearing out in the vinyl already. The leather doesn't do that. It's a lot stronger than this vinyl, so I guess that's why they call it pleather. But be sure and check out my other videos. Please subscribe, like, share, leave a comment below. Have a great day.